Yo, what up, guys? We're going to be spinning this wheel here, and whatever stock it lands on, that is what we will be doing our chart setup in and our analysis in. Let's go ahead and spin this wheel. I wonder what we're going to get today. Last time we got Amazon, but this time I hope we get okay, we're going to get Google. Bet it, I'm down. Let's get into the charts, man. Alright, what up, guys? Welcome to the charts. Before I make any setup at all, I like to favorite these 7 time frames up here, and I like to favorite these tools up here. What we're gonna do here is start on the monthly time frame, and we're just gonna scroll out, and we're gonna find our lowest point. Since we already know how to do this, I'm gonna time lapse through it. Alright, now that we're done doing bottom up analysis, we're gonna do the same thing to the top side.
Concrete walls and the flashing lights can't disturb the peace of the quiet nights.
Alright, now that we're done doing trend lines, I like to have multiple confluences. So what we'll do is go on a monthly time frame again and identify fair value gaps. Just start from this huge move up right here. We identified a fair value gap right here. It's small, but it's still a fair value gap. We ended up inversing on this candle right here. So that means this fair value gap right here is invalidated. After that, we ended up forming a pretty big one right here as well. This one's massive. We've seen that we came into this fair value gap right here on this monthly candle right here. We wixed it down here. Bears really wanted to break it kinda right here, but we ended up shooting back up, closing right here. So we're seeing a consolidation in this big monthly fair value gap. This monthly fair value gap can act as support, and it can stop the market from going down. If we break this monthly fair value gap right here, that means this monthly fair value gap gets invalidated, and we lose all high time frames that can possibly stop us from getting to this zone right here. But this is not our only confluence, so let's go on a lower time frame like the weekly time frame and identify some more fair value gaps. Seeing that we had some weekly fair value gaps get formed from this big move up right here, so let's identify them. We have one right here and another small tiny one. This one is like little as fuck right here. What we've seen is price inverse both of those fair value gaps on this candle right here. So these fair value gaps are invalidated, so let's go ahead and get them out of there. Once you see a candle close below a fair value gap, that means that fair value gap is invalidated. So we ended up invalidating these weekly fair value gaps to the downside, and immediately after that we formed weekly fair value gaps to the downside as well. We formed one right here. We already reacted off of this. We reacted off of this for 1, 2, 3 weeks now. This is a very good support zone, and on top of that we formed another one above it. It's small, but it's still there right here. We have yet to come into this weekly fair value gap, so it can still act as support. So it can still act as a liquidity pool and pull the market to it like a magnet. Now that we identified our weekly fair value gaps that we can possibly pull back to, let's look for bearish fair value gaps right now. We've seen that let's look for bearish fair value gaps right now. We got one bearish fair value gap that got formed right here. And we also have another one that got formed right here. We invalidated those fair value gaps on this candle right here, so that means these gets canceled out, so let's go ahead and delete them. And on top of this invalidation, we ended up reacting off of this bullish fair value gap down here. It's small, but we still had a reaction off of it. On top of that, we seen that we had this 3 touch point trend line on the daily time frame for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's more than a week now. So that gives a really good confirmation on a trend line. If you see a trend line that has multiple touch points like this, or 3 touch point trend lines, and it got formed for over a week, then that's better confirmation. If we see an inverse of that, that means we could possibly go to the upside. If we go on the 1 hour time frame as well, we've seen that we had this 3 touch point trend line on the hour time frame as well. Let me go ahead and draw that for y'all. So we had 1 touch right here, 2, and then 3. If we come and break this line, that means this zone right here, if we come and break this line, then that means we can push back to the upside. On top of that, we have these weekly fair value gaps that can act as a liquidity zone and pull us up. And what did we see? We seen an inverse of this on the hour time frame and on the daily time frame. And what is really cool is after these shifts and structures, right, we like to form fair value gaps after. We've seen that we formed the daily fair value gap right here, and we reacted on that. And on top of that, we formed this hour fair value gap to the upside as well, and we reacted off of that as well. It is right here. See, we broke this 3 touch point trend line right here. Immediately after, we shot up, we formed this fair value gap, we came back down, reacted off this fair value gap, and we ended up shooting back up. Then we ended up returning to the daily fair value gap, and then we shot up majorly. Now that we identified our fair value gaps and our shift in structures, what I like to do is go on a daily time frame as well, and I like to identify, since we're in a downtrend, obviously from right here, I like to identify my lower highs. On the daily time frame, we're still in a downtrend on the daily time frame until we break this zone right here. Let me go ahead and delete this trend line since we already broke it and just talked about it. We're still in a downtrend until we break this lower high on the daily time frame. What I like to do is also identify what trend we are in on the 4-hour and 1-hour time frame as well. Our first move up before this move boom down would be this candle right here. This would be our lower high on the 4-hour time frame. You've seen that we inversed that 4-hour lower high, right? And immediately after shifting trends, we ended up forming this 4-hour fair value gap to the upside. We ended up forming another one right here as well. Let's go to the hour time frame as well. Our first move up before this huge move down would be right here. We ended up inversing that. On top of inversing that, we ended up forming bullish 1-hour fair value gap. So we formed one right here and then another small one right here. What I would be looking for next week, since we end up shifting trends, price tends to pull back to fair value gaps after shifting trends. So we could see price come back into these zones right here. We could either touch this 4-hour fair value gap right here and go up, or we can come in these 1-hour fair value gaps and hit this trend line and then go up. Or we can still react off of this daily fair value gap and hold this as support. Bulls really need to hold these zones if you want to see price go up, right? And then bears need to hold this daily lower high and not shift into an uptrend on the daily time frame. If we see a break of this on a daily candle, and then we end up forming a daily fair value gap as well with this third candle up here, that means price can definitely move up to here real fast. So yeah, that's what I would be looking for next week. I would be looking for these zones to hold and then possibly a return to here, or this daily lower high to hold and then a return back to here as well. All right, that's really it for the video. What my strategy really is we're identifying a high time for value gaps. It's pretty much it with my analysis and chart setups. We can see either price come up to these weekly for value gaps next week, or we can see it stop at this daily lower high, or we can stop at this trend line. That's what bears really need to hold if they want to see us not go up like crazy. This is what bulls need to hold if we want to see us go up. I hope y'all guys enjoyed the analysis, and I will see y'all guys in the next one.
Astral sky, floating out of space, leaving the ground.